Hello, my name is Super. I bought a thing, and we're gonna unbox it. Gotta cut a little more here. Hold on, let me. Woo! Airbags! I love me an airbag. Look at that airbag. Oh, I want to pop it, but I'm not gonna. Airbag part 2? I can pop that if I want. So let's see. We have a power supply. Now, I've been told that this power supply is dead, and I don't really feel like testing that, but I'm gonna open it anyway. There we are. There's a power supply. And if you know how to read kana, you already know what this says, and you already know what I bought. But then again, I guess you read the title of the video. Oh, I can see like a bit of it in the corner. I didn't even notice. All right, we got some pamphlets. Those are cartridges, I'm pretty sure. We'll get to that in a minute. But this is the main star of the show. Look at that. Oh, that looks so cool. This is the epic Super Cassette Vision, released in Japan in 1984, and also in Europe, I think also in 84, maybe 85, I'm not sure. We got a door here, which has your controllers, although it looks like whoever was in here before me didn't cable manage this the best. But wow, those are a lot small. Oh, listen to those sounds. Oh, 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 that's good sounds. And then we have the second one, so we can get like 2 of them going. Oh. Oh, that's good feels. That's good feels. So here's the system itself. There's power. You can turn it on and off. There's reset. There's pause on the console, just like the Master System, everyone's favorite. And then, yeah, that's chiclet numbers. You can feel that. Nothing on this side. There's all of our ports. We have AC power, we have our RF, we have our little switcher, and then we also have an RGB connector. This is an 8-pin DIN, which goes out to SCART. The system included a SCART cable. I don't have that. You know, if I really needed to, I can order one. They make bespoke ones. I can get one for like 30 bucks. So this can do RF, and it can do SCART, but it can't do composite, which is annoying for me, but you know, this is nothing on this side, and then nothing on the front. Yeah, this looks really nice. I'm surprised that it's not like yellowed that much. The controllers are a different story. The controllers are definitely yellowed. I don't know if I'm gonna retrowrite these. I'm not confident in my retrowriting skills, so probably not. So if you're wondering about size, about console size, console dimensions, this thing appears to be about 10 inches wide, about 8 inches this way, 8 inches long, and in height it's like 2 inches tall. To give you just kind of a sense of scale, here is a DVD. This is Klonoa 2. You can fit about a DVD plus that much. DVD and like a non-functioning AC adapter width. Or if you want the console comparison, here it is with a PS1 on top. It's about the same dimensions as a PlayStation 1, as you can see. It's roughly the same dimensions. I'm going to move this aside here because remember, I still have envelope and envelope. I'm just gonna cut it to the side and just tear this. And yeah, you can already see a little crumb of box here. Here is a Super Cassette Vision game. What game is this? This appears to be Astro Wars. And then here's the other game, which is Elevator Fight. So let me get these out of their bubble wrap prison. Ah, okay. Well, there you go. There is the box for Astro Wars. Side, there's the back, there's the other side, there's the top. So I guess this is the way they want you to store them. They have a little number too. So how do you open this box? Okay, it looks like there's a tear. Oh, I see. Okay, so you see there's like a front lid. You just lift this up like that, and then there's your cartridge. The front being not any cover art, just telling you how to play the game. And then the top is your game, little Super Cassette Vision logo. So that's Astro Wars, so let's get this other one open. So in case you're wondering how much I paid for all this, the Super Cassette Vision itself I bought off of Yahoo Auctions Japan for about $50. These 2 game carts were, I believe, 10 and 20 respectively. And then shipping was an extra $35, so I paid about $100. give or take, for all this, which is pretty good. If you go on eBay, you can find the console itself for about 100, so I think I got a pretty good deal. But anyways, here's Elevator Fight. What number is this? What number is this? This is game number 7. I'm probably not going to collect all of the games. This thing only had 30 games released for it, but a good chunk of those games are like, oh wow, that's a pretty looking cartridge. By the way, I want to point out, the cartridges have like this really smooth, almost like wax texture to them. That feels, hold on, let me grab a Famicom cart real quick. Gotta be on brand. Yeah, no, this doesn't really come across on camera, but this feels a little more rough. This feels like super smooth, like almost like it was like laminated or something, like laminated plastic somehow. Oh, and also, if you want size comparisons, these things are about 2/3 the size of a Famicom cart. Exact same width, just a little shorter. So yeah, we have a Super Cassette Vision, we have the adapter, and we have some games. And that is about all that came with the box, at least the one that I ordered. So I've been told that this unit does power on, but A, this adapter doesn't work, and B, the RF connector is quite flaky. This is the second major game console released by Epoch, this company right here, who are a toy company slash games console maker, sort of like Mattel in the 80s. The first one was just called the Cassette Vision, which is like a Pong console sort of deal. It looks hilariously primitive. I'd love to get my hands on one of those too someday, but you know, it's a lower priority. I will mention the console was also released in Europe under the company Yano, mostly in France from what I can tell. I'd love to know if this thing was released in other European countries besides France, but as far as I can tell, it was mostly France. So this console does have a couple interesting things going for it. For one thing, this is the first console that I know of that can output RGB directly, and as far as game legacy goes, this has a couple firsts. It had the first Dragon Ball game, it had the first Lupin the Third game, I think. I could be wrong, let me know if I'm wrong. And it also had Dragon Slayer, which was the very first game ever with battery-backed saves. So this thing does have at least some very niche historical value to a very specific subset of people. You might also be wondering why I don't own any of those games I just mentioned, and that's because they're expensive. That Dragon Ball game I just mentioned, that's like $300, and that's before you account for shipping. Yeah, no thank you. And of course, I'm sure some of you are also wondering, can you emulate this thing? And the answer is yes, there are at least 2 emulators for this thing. One in MAME, because of course MAME has it, MAME has everything. And there's also a standalone emulator called ESCV that I wasn't able to get working, but it is out there. Oh, there's also a RetroArch core if you hate yourself, but I'm not gonna bother with that. So this was released in 1984, and at that time in Japan, there were 3 main consoles. There was the Famicom, not to spoil the end fate of this thing, but the Famicom was one. There was the Sega SG-1000, and I believe also the Master System was out by then, or Sega Mark III, or whatever they called it. And then there was also secret option number 4, which was home computers, which are, they're their own beast. They probably deserve a video all their own by someone who is far more qualified than me. But yes, this was Epoch's sort of attempt to compete. The leading console in Japan at the time was the Famicom, and even in '84, I mean, they had a pretty ballin' library of games. This is just a couple examples. Then 1985 happened, and it was over for Epoch. There was no way. By 1987, Epoch was just like, you know what? We're just gonna start publishing games on the consoles people actually want, and they made a killing. Here I have 2 Doraemon games because I have brain rot, but they published some others. Here's a list. And the reason I say that is because this console is just supremely not equipped for making the kinds of games that people wanted by 1985. And you can kind of tell just by looking at the screenshots on display here that, yeah, this thing was, was pretty underpowered. This thing actually works not unlike the Atari 7800 and has just a ridiculous number of sprites. I think it's like 200 sprites a scan line, something ridiculous. Everything else was limited. The sprites had to be 8x8. That was the only size. You also had to deal with monophonic sound. If you don't know what that means you can only play 1 sound channel, ever. You can't have more than 1 sound channel. And to give you an idea of just how limited that is, the Atari 2600 had 2 sound channels. This thing had 1. Granted, it did at least have different waveforms. You had sort of a square wave, and you had like a weird sort of like gong sounding wave. I don't know how to describe it. It also had 80 PCM, so you can just play like whatever. And that is about it as far as hardware goes. So hopefully, if we smash cut, I should have this thing working. So I have my Super Cassette Vision sitting on top of here. I have it plugged into an RF modulator from an NES. And then for the power supply, I just bought some cheapo $9 whatever thing off of Amazon. It's a little over spec, but it should be fine. If I just turn it to channel 3 and I turn it on, we should at least see something happen. Okay, it's on. Well, it doesn't appear to be doing anything. Okay, no, I stand corrected. I just didn't have it plugged into the RF. So if I turn it off, we get regular TV. But if I turn it on, then it changes. So this is at least outputting something. Although, yeah, the signals are all manners of screwed up. And I wonder if I can go to channel setup. I wonder, can I just add a channel? Damn it, it doesn't let us add it. You know what, we're just gonna see if the TV can do it on its own. I don't think it's going to be able to tune to channel 96, but we're going to find out. The fact that we're getting, like, distortion tells me that this is at least outputting something. And, yeah, this does nothing. So if I want to get this to output, I will have to grab a VCR. I will be right back. Alright, we have a VCR going. Turn this thing on. And then go to channel 96 or 97. Let's see. 97? 96? Should be at least doing something. Oh, I saw it do something. Hey, there we go, I finally got it. Oh my god, that took forever. Okay, so just to recap my setup, I currently have a VCR sitting over here that you can't see with an NES RF adapter plugged into the RCA in. You can't see it because my camera's... There we go, that's better. Yeah, I have RCA plugged in. I have composite out coming out from there into the TV, and then to power it, I have just some random thing I bought on Amazon that happens to have similar power. Alright, so I finally got it turned on. This took way too long. This is the Super Cassette Vision's BIOS screen. This is what shows up whenever you have no game inserted. It just has a bunch of balloons all floating around showing off, hey look, we have sprites. Alright, I'm gonna go get some games. I'll be right back, 1 second. Alright, we're going to try Elevator Fight first. This is Elevator Fight. So this, I think, just goes in this way because there's a little notch here. So you load in cartridges the correct way. And then I hit reset. Hey, sound works too. Awesome. Ah, classic. So here's the controller. It does not look great, but it does feel nice. So let me see if I can route this as intended. Get that nice, clean cable management there. So we have 4 options. We have one player amateur, 1 player pro, and then 2 player pro. We're gonna pick 1, and then I believe we just press buttons. There. All right, we're gonna go. Okay, so this game here is legally distinct elevator action. If any of you know about the elevator action game, this is literally just that. So we have, I think we have shoot, and that's it. And this is, oh, there's a jump. Cool. This is, yeah, this is a decent game. I can see myself playing this. Yeah, get those guys. Get out of here. Can we hide in the doors? We can't. So we literally just have to get over this elevator. I need this. You. Oh, well. Hey, he killed me. Well, whatever. Okay, hold on. Round 2. We got this. We got this? Oh, there's an elevator there. That's why I wasn't responding. I thought my controller died. No, it's just there's an elevator there. And it locks your movement. Give me that. We gotta make a sick jump. We beat a level! I'm so good at video games. Right, well, I'm gonna turn this off, remove this cartridge. We're gonna play the other game I have, which is Astro Wars. And yeah, it's in this nice blue, sort of like, it's like teal color. It looks awesome. Let's pop this bad boy in and give it a play. Boink. Is the contacts dirty? No worries, I have solutions. I have infinite solutions. Give that a shine, give it a sheen. Should be good to go. Yeah, that was a little dirty. Not too bad. So this is Astro Wars. This is apparently a sequel to a game Epic made as like a little standalone thing back in like 1979, and apparently it was popular. So we have amateur or pro. We're gonna go amateur. And be warned, this game is actually super fast. I don't think I'm gonna be able to show my, hold on. Oh, yeah, hold on. There we go. Okay. So this game is ridiculously fast. Just relentlessly so. I like this game, but I'm a freak who likes yeah, no, this this game this is so goofy. So we have to destroy all these little minions and then destroy the thing in the center, which is like the big boss leader. Yeah, we can't actually hurt him at all until, well, at least they're generous with lives. We have I don't even know how many we have. Okay, now we can beat the crap out of this thing. We have a time limit. It's like, I'm just gonna avoid the beam. And then I have to hit. Come on, he's almost dead. Yay, we killed him. We got him. And then our little guy goes off. And you just repeat. That's the whole game. And in case you're wondering, this is not a glitch. This game is supposed to run this fast. I've tested this on emulator and on real console. Yeah, this game is just... the game is just like this. This cost me $110. You get the idea. You get the point. Yeah, suffice it to say, this is pretty cool. But, you know, it's not hard to see why this failed in comparison to, you know... like, it's not hard to see. I don't know. I think this thing is super charming. It's why I bought it. I'm happy to own one. Would I recommend that your average person buy this thing? Absolutely not. No, this is a console that you only buy if you are absolutely 100% sure that you are into this kind of, like, obscure console jank. I think it has a pretty interesting place in gaming history. It's a system that almost no one talks about, and I'm happy to own one. So that's really about it. I just wanted to talk about this thing because, again, there's not a whole lot of coverage of this thing on YouTube or on the English-speaking internet in general. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Seriously, how the hell have I not died yet? You guys have the worst aim in existence.